Kim Chamberlain, the Canal Town Stitcher, and welcome to my channel. I am here for my regular update and to catch you up on all the stitching I've been doing and all the wonderful things that I've been watching and, you know, just share a little bit of my life with you. So welcome. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. And for those of you that are new, thank you for joining me. First of all, I've had some new subscribers, so thank you and welcome. I'm always very happy and very surprised when I have people subscribe to my channel, so I really appreciate you, all of you, and all of your comments and everything that you have taken the time to stop and listen to me. Maybe you're stitching, maybe you're cooking. I watch Flosstube sometimes when I'm cooking. Sometimes I watch it when I'm preparing sub plans or lesson plans for the day. For those of you that don't know, I teach 3rd grade. So I have Flosstube on a lot during my planning time. And so, yeah, so, you know, thank you. I appreciate you all, and I look forward to sharing with you what I've been working on. A little bit of a life update, not much to share. We celebrated St. Patrick's Day this week and had our corned beef and cabbage last night, which normally we do it on St. Patrick's Day. Today, by the way, is Saturday, March 19th, but we couldn't this year because Ethan is a BOCES student. He's taking culinary, and they did an open house on Thursday, and we got to actually go and actually really enjoy some of their food that they had been preparing, and it was really nice. And Grace had a riding lesson, and Adam went skiing, which was really cool because the weather on Thursday here in, we live in, like, we live right smack dab in between Western and Central New York. So if you're familiar with New York State at all, we live about a half an hour or so south of Lake Ontario, about 40 minutes from the city of Rochester, and about 45 minutes from the city of Syracuse. So we're kind of like right in the middle. And on Thursday, it was 70 degrees here. And Adam got to go skiing. So, excuse me for opening my little seltzer water here. Adam got to go skiing, and it was really fun. So, I'm going to just put that over there so it's away from my stitching, but it's close by. So, yeah, and, you know, just kind of been, like what I would say, living the dream, you know. Last weekend I went and got some supplies, some cross-stitch supplies. I have a couple of new starts. I have a SAF, which for those of you that are new to Flosstube is a start and finish. I got some stuff from 123 Stitch that I'll show you, and I did order some things as well, and so those aren't here yet, but when they get here, we'll talk about them then. I haven't reached any of the goals that I wanted to reach from my last video, but that's okay because I have new goals. I have new things that I'm working on, so it's okay. The only thing that I've been really consistent with so far this year has been my whip quilt projects, so we'll get into that in a second. Other than that, everything's pretty much the same. I've got beautiful sunshine coming in through this window. I apologize for that, like, that heavenly glow that I have going on today. It's really just the sun coming in through that window. And I'm actually going to be putting up some curtains soon in here. This is like my new craft room. And it's actually really dark in here, so I'm actually going to be painting all of these walls like a gray, what is it called, beige? It's like a beige gray color to kind of like bring light into here because it's a really, really small room. It's only maybe 8 by 8-ish. So it's not very big, but I'm thankful and grateful to have it. And it was my son's bedroom before he moved down into the basement bedroom, which is much, much larger. So that's why it's painted blue. But now we need to paint it a different color so that it's a little bit brighter in here. But for today, I do have a ring light going. You can see it in the reflection of my glasses. I can't turn it off because when I had it off, you couldn't see my stitching. And so I turned it on so that you would be able to see my stitching. Um, yeah, so a couple things I'm excited about this week. One, Crystal Rowe is back. She is one of my favorites. If you haven't had a chance to watch her yet, Crystal Rowe with a K, and Rowe is her last name, and she's fantastic. And she took a little bit of a break, which I had been, intently waiting and watching for her to come back, and she did. She did a Zoom last night that I was unable to be on because obviously we were at friend's house eating our corned beef and cabbage, but I will definitely be hopefully getting onto that. So if you haven't checked her out yet, you should go check her out and give her some love over there. She's had a little bit of a rough patch, so I'm so happy that she's back. Also, I follow Sammy Liz, so if you haven't had a chance to see her, she has really great projects, and I feel like we kind of stitch in a similar way, and we kind of post our videos kind of in a similar way too. So I really enjoy her. And then Daydream Stitcher, Mary, posted a video about new floss tubers that she had been introduced to. And I thought I would really love to do something similar to that. I can't necessarily like make a whole video on it, but I can mention some people that I've been watching that are kind of lower on the subscribers. One of them is, hang on a second, let me pull her up, that I've been watching. I just want to kind of give her a shout out. Oh, here she is, the Starlit Stitcher. The Starlit Stitcher. She has 207 subscribers. So I would like to see her subscriber list go up. She is a very fast stitcher. Like, she gets things done quickly. Big things, she gets done really fast. Way faster than I can ever stitch. So I do enjoy watching her. And that took me a long time to find. Then I finally found it. Let's see here. I've watched all of the Sweetwater Stitcher. She is new. She's only got 3 videos out, but she's very popular already. I have to wonder sometimes, like, what I, like, why, like, on the algorithm I'm not, like, up there. She's very popular already, so check her out. I've been watching the Boogie Stitcher, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about her later in my plans, because I really love watching her videos, and she's really inspired me to do something that I haven't done before. I'm just scrolling through here and finding people that I just started watching. I really enjoyed this person. She's already up to 955 subscribers. The Tiny House Stitcher, and she only has 1 video out. I really like Stitch With Me videos, so I've been really watching a lot of Stitch With Me's. I don't have a favorite Stitch With Me video. I just really like anybody that is stitching. And I just put them on and they just talk to me while I'm stitching. So I've really started to do that and really been enjoying that. Stitched by Liz. She's funny. She is from Australia, I think, or New Zealand. No, Melbourne. She's in Australia. So she has only 468 subscribers, and I love her. Her husband edits all of her videos, and he's really funny. So check her out. All right, so those are just a few of the people that I have been watching. So I hope that you find them and start watching them too. Give them some love from the Canal Town Stitcher. I just brushed my teeth. and that is raspberry cranberry. It's been making them very interesting. All right, let's talk about whip go. So let's talk about my February whip go first, because I finished one whip go goal, and that was because I couldn't stop stitching on it, was the Frosty Forest. Oh my gosh. So that one, I finished that. And then I worked on International Santas, which was my second one. And I don't have the cover photo for this one right now because it's in the living room and I don't feel like pausing the video to go get it. So, but remember, I had a goal on this one, if you watched my previous video, to finish this Santa. And the only thing I have left to finish for him is a small part of his hat and his staff. And the rest of him is complete. So I'm very, very happy with my progress on this. And I know that when it comes up again in July, for Christmas in July, I will be stitching on this again. But look at how beautiful he came out. This Santa right here, this blue one. So he holds a staff. And that's really all that I have left for him. Then I'm going to continue on the border and the trees, and then start on the next Santa. This is on 28 count Whisper Lugana, and or even weave, however you want to call it, and I love it. It's so easy to stitch. This pattern is so beautiful to stitch. So you can't get it anymore. It's out of the 2000, it's out of the 2000 Better Homes and Gardens Keepsakes Cross Stitch Calendar. So what I think I might do is I might actually pass this pattern along to somebody else when I'm done with it, so that we can continue to stitch it, because it's just so beautiful and you can't get it anymore. So that was my February whip go. So both my February whip goes met or exceeded goal, which is fantastic. So then March numbers were called, and so in March numbers, let me just pull it up because I have it right here on my iPad. That's the beauty of using my phone. Where's my Pages app? Right there. So number 15 and number 21 were called for March. So number 15 for me was Lighting the Way by Silver Creek Samplers, and number 21 is Fa La 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 by Madame Chantilly. Okay, so I still have some time in March because it's only the 19th. But I have definitely exceeded my goal in the Silver Creek Samplers Lighting the Way. So this is my anniversary. This was my anniversary start last year. I started on July 15th, 2021. It is going to be my wedding sampler. So it's this one right here. It says, always be a lighthouse, shine your beacon bright, guide every soul adrift at sea throughout their darkest night. I'm changing this to say 2000, and then I was going to put my initials in the window and my husband's initials in the window, but they don't fit. It's just not enough room. It's too thin. When I first started it, all I had was this part done, just the water, not even the land. So just the water was complete. And this is where it is now. Move that so you can see. So this has been incredibly hard to put down. well over 10 hours of work. I would say probably close to 13 or 14 hours of work. Just about 5,000 stitches, maybe a little more. 5,000 stitches in this. I thought that this was going to be kind of a beast to stitch, but it is not. This fabric is 32 count Belfast linen in the color Vintage Stormy Night. And this frame came from Lizette. I'll look it up and I'll put it on the screen for you. I saw it on another Flosstube, and I will look that up and I will put that on the screen too. Where it was $21.99, and actually I modified it. I put pieces of it on differently so that it could be a smaller frame, because the frame itself was humongous and I didn't need that big of a frame, so I made it much, much smaller. So it's more like maybe a 12 by 11 right now. Anyways, I started stitching two hands on this frame, and I've never done two-handed stitching before, and it's still awkward for me, but it's going pretty well. So I know that if I get a lap stand or something like that, at some point I'll be able to stitch. Isn't it so beautiful? So beautiful. And then David from Hobby House Needlework said that they would be happy to have it hang on their wall when I'm done with it. So when I get done with it and I frame it, they would be happy to share it with everybody, which I was super excited about. So that one definitely met, exceeded, and love that. That is going so quickly and so well. I don't see myself putting that away anytime soon. Like, I see myself continuing to work on it even though the Whip Go is up for the month. The other one that I'm working on is Fa La La by Madame Chantilly. And this one, if you've been watching me for a while, then you would have seen this last year. I got this when I think I saw Elizabeth Ankin stitch it. I'm not sure if it was her now. I was watching so many different people. It could have been her, maybe. I'm not sure. Anyways, I fell in love with it and had to have it, and I started stitching it on a 28 count piece of green sapphire cashel linen. So this was my start. And you can't tell, but this fabric is actually green. And I hemmed and hawed and hemmed and hawed and hemmed and hawed, and decided finally that I did not like this. So I abandoned it on this fabric. And last week when I was at Hobby House Needleworks, I picked up a piece of 32 count Belfast linen in the color Whisper, and I restarted it. So this is my restart, and I like this much, much better. So I only worked on this for about an hour and a half last week. So I still have about 9 hours left to do on this. So this is my focus piece for this week so that I can finish the goal by March 31st. But I love it. I love it so much better on this. So I think it's going to be really pretty on the Whisper. And it's 32 count, so it's a little smaller, which I also like. So there are my Whip Go projects for the month of March, and to finish up from February. New numbers won't be called until the 27th, although she's been calling them a day or two early lately, so maybe we'll get lucky again and we'll get new numbers. All right, so let's move on to my new starts. Okay, so I have Saf in here. Oh, this is Haul. And this is New Start over here. All right. Oop. I'm sorry if I made you sick. I just knocked right into you. All right. So 2 weeks ago now, I was like, I don't have anything St. Patrick's themed. Nothing in my house. And so I went on to Etsy. Well, no, I first went to Cat Quarter Shop because they sell PDFs, and I knew I wanted to have PDFs because I wasn't I wasn't planning on going to Hobby House and getting anything, even though I went there anyway. Anyhow. So I went looking for some really cute St. Patrick's Day things, and I came across these three. All three are from Cherry Hill Stitchery. So the first one is Lucky. And this was just a PDF pattern I bought from the Fat Quarter Shop. So that's Lucky. And here is my finish for that one. So I stitched this on a piece of scrap piece of 28 count Monaco that I had in the color of white. And oops, I did change the greens. Let me get this right. There we go. So I did get, I changed the greens to 7, what did I use? 700 for the dark green, and I believe it's 704 for the light green. And it was supposed to be Weeks Dye Works Envy and Paris Green, but I didn't have either of those, and I wanted to finish this. And then Envy was DMC 909 and DMC 907, and I liked the 700 and the 704 better, so that is why it is done in those colors. But I love it. It came out so cute. So then the next one I got is We Folk Welcome, also by Cherry Hill Stitchery. Love this. Also doing this on the same piece of fabric actually, which is why it was all looking weird, but I'll show you in a minute. And I changed the greens on this, so it was supposed to be 906 and 986, and instead I'm using the 700 and the 704. So this is my start on that one. So basically this is the 704, and this dark green that I'm using here is the 700. Now this line right here is supposed to be black in the pattern, but I didn't like that. I wanted more green in the pattern, so I'm choosing to do this line and the bottom one in the black. But so far so cute. I like it. All right, so those were 2 new starts, and then I have another new start, which is a big new start. So this is a step way outside my comfort zone. For one, I downloaded GoodNotes finally. I don't know what I was waiting for, but I love it. And I have been using it religiously since I downloaded it for my cross-stitch PDF patterns. And if you have an iPhone or iPad, so I use it almost exclusively on my iPad, it is fantastic. It is so good. So I purchased my first Haid, which is Heaven and Earth Design, which is a full coverage. So I purchased Mini Heaven and Nature Sing. The artwork is Donna Gelsinger, maybe. My son Adam picked it out, and it is this one right here. Sorry for the glare of my ring light. So I started this on a piece of 25 count Easy Grid Lugana, using all the called for DMCs, 1/1, and I hate it. I hate it. All right, so it's a big piece of fabric at 25 count. This would be about 9.5, I think it said. 9.5 inches by 11 inches. Let me see what it says. It says with 25 count, 1/1, it would be 9 3/4 inches wide and 13 inches tall. So 9 by 13. That's big. That's big. All right. So it would be big if, so this is what I have done. This is what I have done. And I'll tell you why I hate it. So for one, I'm using the parking method for the first time, which isn't so bad. Like, I don't mind that so much. But I'm having a difficult time with all the dark blues, seeing the holes. And on 1/1, it, like, sometimes the piece, like, the thread will, like, slide through, and then you don't get a really nice pretty X. I mean, it's looking pretty good. I mean, I think it looks okay. But it's like, I don't know, it's hard to see it with that light shining on it. And I apologize if it's blurry. So I only worked on it for about an hour and a half the other night. And let me tell you, when I was buying the threads for this, I did it at Joann Fabrics when all the threads were 48 cents a piece, thank goodness. And I came home and I made my own floss cards. So here are the floss cards that I made. And so far I've only threaded up, like on this, I've only threaded up like so many colors, but there's enough on each one to hold 25 colors. And there's 89 colors in this, and I only got half of them. So I have about 40 more to buy. It's a lot. 40 more to buy. That's okay though. But I had to make these and then obviously label them, and then I had to, you know, cut thread. And so, but the colors are really pretty, and, you know, like, trying to keep them in order and together. And so, like, I'm just, you know, if you've done a Haid before, then you know what I mean. I don't think I'm ever going to do another Heaven and Earth design. Not because they are not gorgeous. They are absolutely stunning and very, very beautiful and gorgeous. But because it's just not my kind of stitching. Like, I don't think I'm going to, I definitely don't think I'm going to finish it on the 25 count. I definitely think I'm going to move to an Aida. I definitely think that an 18 count Aida or a 16 count Aida would be more appropriate for me. So I'm going to maybe purchase an Easy Grid 18 count Aida to stitch that on. Because I definitely do not like this 1/1 stitching. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I have no problem seeing the holes. Like, I have no problem, like, seeing the holes of, like, in here. But once you get into these dark blues, it becomes really hard. And I can't two-hand stitch because I don't have a lap stand. So I feel like, I don't know, this is kind of big, maybe. I don't know. This is an 11 by 11 Q-snap that I got. They purchased last weekend specifically for this. I'm pretty sure I could put this on my stand if I wanted to, which I might try before I completely abandon it. But I don't want to get too far into it and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so far in and I truly hate it. So I'd rather switch it now and maybe sell what I have left of this fabric than try to keep going on it if I don't like it. But a lot of my Stitch With Me's are people that are stitching like this, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just not meant to stitch like them. Maybe I'm just meant to stitch on bigger fabric. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I don't want to be like complaining and whining, and I don't want you to be like, oh my gosh, all this girl does is whine. And then be like, I can't recommend the Canal Town Stitcher because all she does is whine on hers. Anyway, back to today's show. All right, so that was my only other start. And the rest are just whips. So, let's talk hands-on design. Let's talk winter. I'm doing this in all the called for DMCs on a piece of navy blue 14 count Ada. And I love this, aside from the fact that I have white dogs. Okay, and you'll see why in a second. So I have white dogs, and you can, well, maybe not so much in this, but you can kind of see, oh, let me get rid of all these flyaway threads. I'm so bad about that. So this is stitching up so easily, and I love it. Like I said, it's all the called for DMCs on this navy blue Ada, and yes, this is going fast. So my progress has been quick with this one. I don't stitch on it every day, but I have had it next to the couch. So sometimes when I get home from work, I'll sit down and just while I'm drinking a cup of coffee or having a drink when I first get home from work, this is what I'll pull out and I'll stitch on it. Love the project bag, right? Oh my goodness. I can make them. I've made most of them, but I haven't made enough for all of my projects. Okay, next up is one that I said I was going to have done that I don't have done, but you're not going to judge me because nobody judges anybody on Flosstube. Okay, Quaker Snowflakes by Hello from Liz Matthews. I'm doing this one. And guys, I'm so close to a finish on this. It is not even funny. Technically, it should be done already. All right. It's filthy. I'm really embarrassed about that. I'm going to have to clean it. I don't know how it got to be this dirty either because it really sits in my project bag for the most part, but here it is. Oh my God. Look what I've done. I am finishing this before the end of the month. Actually, my goal was to finish it by Monday, which is the start of spring. We'll have to see. Isn't it beautiful? It's on 32 count blue azure, Lugana even weave, and in all the called for silks. My first time using silks. And my only complaint, because I love stitching with them, they stitch so nicely. My only complaint is that your oils from your hands, no matter how much you wash them, stain the silk. So, like, you won't be able to see it from far away when it is framed because it looks gorgeous. But when you get it up close, you can see some of the yellowing. And that is not because I eat or ever ate with this, because I never, ever ate anything while stitching on this. And I always wash my hands, but because your hands have natural oils in them, it gets into the silk. So that was really my only complaint about this. When I first started stitching it, I had a really hard time seeing it, and I couldn't stitch it, and then all of a sudden, like, something snapped, and I could see it, like, perfectly. So, oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. I feel like my hair is just so flat today. Now I'm going to make it big, because that's what naturally curly hair does. It's either flat and, like, crunchy, or it's huge and frizzy. people with naturally curly hair will understand my plight, my dilemmas. All right, next. Cozy Cardinals. Cozy Cardinals is from the 2020 December Just Cross Stitch magazine. And this is my oldest whip to date. Started this in November of 2020. And this is on 25 count ice blue Lugana. And this is where I am. Finally finished that male cardinal. Boy, was he a beast. And then I was afraid that it wasn't going to fit on this piece, but it will. Just barely. At the top, it's going to come to like right here, just above his head. But there'll be about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of border, so I can frame it. I was really afraid because like when I started this, I didn't even know that there was such thing as like measuring your fabric to make sure that you were going to have enough room. And I also didn't know, even though I've been stitching for a very long time, that the average space in the median is 3 inches. I didn't know that. So I just did a middle start on this one. And then when I realized it, after I became a little bit more experienced, I was on the Hope and Pray ship. Anybody that's on the Hope and Pray ship right now? Sometimes. Hoping and praying that it fits. But I'm pretty sure it will. And it's beautiful. And I'm very, very, very happy with it. And look forward to finishing it and getting it hung up on the wall. In the winter time, especially. Cardinals mean a lot to me because my mother passed away 12 years ago, and every time I see a cardinal outside, I think of her. And so I'm a little bit obsessed. There's 2 animals I'm obsessed with. One is the red fox, very obsessed with red fox, and the second is cardinals. So when you see me stitching animals, it's either going to be a red fox or a cardinal. For the most part. I do have some other animals that I'm stitching. I definitely lean that way, lean in that direction. Okay. So that, I believe, is all the whips I have worked on. Which is no small feat. I mean, it's kind of a lot. Especially since I put like, I don't know, 13, 14 hours in on Silver Creek samplers lighting the way. Easily. And I'm probably going to pick that up and stitch on it some more this afternoon too. Alright, so what did I buy? Well, the last couple weeks I haven't had any purchases. So I felt it was time to do some purchasing. My husband's probably not very happy about it. But I didn't buy anything in January and I didn't buy anything in February. And so I did buy some things in March, but I don't plan on buying anything else until probably June or July-ish. So, isn't this bag from Joann's so cute? It was $1.50 and I had to have it as soon as I saw it. It has all of these woodland animals on it, but look at that beautiful red fox. I cannot even. Life is better with friends. I cannot even. And this is full of the DMC thread. Oh, let me see if I can open it. So you can see for my Haid. So I bought 2 of each color, and they're going to live in here. They're going to live in here by themselves, not mixed in with anything else, so that I don't use those for any other project or for the Haid. Okay, so then I needed some other colors for lighting the way. And I decided to kit up and get all the colors I needed for another project that I want to start. So let me pull out the cover on that. This is a pattern I bought from Etsy. It is called Happy Day by E.L. Cross Stitch. It's on Etsy. Anyways, I charted up this pattern. Oops. Get that ring light out so you can see it. And I'm going to stitch this, mostly for myself. But if I like it enough, I might give it away to my sister. We'll see. Anyway, so I got all of the DMCs for that as well. So in the last month, I have purchased 80, plus all these. I don't even know how many are here. Let's say there's 40 here, so 120 skeins of DMC floss. And that doesn't account for like all of this floss that's like over here that I purchased prior to Christmas that I'm still working on bobbinating. So I went through phases. So I went through a phase where I made some floss drops, and I still have those floss drops, but I don't know why, but I keep going back to the bobbins. For me, it's just easier. I don't know why. So that's currently what I'm doing. I may bobbinate, I may not. I don't know. I'm kind of that ADD person right now who really doesn't know for sure what she likes, but she's just kind of going with it. So there's all that. So then I was at Hobby House Needleworks last weekend, and I purchased the 25 count Easy Grid Lugana. I purchased the Whisper. Oh no, I didn't get Whisper from Hobby House like I thought I did. I got that from my 1-2-3 stitch order. From Hobby House, I got a nice fat quarter of 32 count Vintage Stormy Clouds Belfast linen, which I'm a neutral girl. You're gonna find that almost every time for me. And then a piece of 40 count Chateau or Cafe au Lait linen by Zweigert. And I've never stitched on 40 count before, but I'm going to try it. I don't know with what. I don't know with who, but I'm going to give it a try. Never stitched on 40 count before, so I'm a little scared. We'll see. I think it'll be all right though. So these were my 2 pieces of fabric, plus my 25 count Easy Grid that I bought from Hobby House. And then my Hobby House Needleworks is about, I don't know, 10 minutes from the Pittsburgh Michaels. So I dragged my kid in there that day. And so we went in there, and I got a piece of 18 count Fiddler's Cloth by DMC, Charles Craft. And I got an 18 count DMC Charles Craft, just white Aida as well. And then I also got from Joann Fabrics a piece of 28 count even weave cross stitch fabric. This was like, I think $9, and it is a 20 by 27 piece, so it's big. And they have all kinds of this stuff now coming in, the Joann brand of this stuff. They had Aida, and they had a Fiddler's Cloth, and they also had like a huge Aida, like a 10 count Aida as well. And while I was at Joann's, I found Snowballs for Sale by Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet Company. So I purchased this too. This was not on sale, and I did not get my discount on it either. So that was kind of disappointing. But still, I bought it anyway. Because why not? They were out of Navy Ada because I was going to buy it for this EL Cross Stitch Happy Day piece, but they were out of it. Okay, and then I also bought another Cherry Hill cross stitch or Cherry Hill stitchery pattern called Malarkey and Shenanigans. It says notice prone to malarkey and shenanigans, and I love this, and I'll probably change the greens in this too. I'm not sure yet because I haven't started it or even thought about it since I purchased it. Just too many other things. Oh, like I thought I bought more stuff. I did. So this is my 1, 2, 3 stitch order, which that Whisper Lugana came, or Whisper Evenly came from. All right, so what did I buy? I bought 2 patterns from 1, 2, 3 Stitch, and all of the floss to go with them. Okay, so the first one I bought was the March Sampler of the Month from Country Cottage Needleworks. Now, I do not think I'm gonna stitch all of these, but I really liked this one. Let me see here. I can't get it to focus more because of that light, but anyway. This house is so cute. It is green. Try to get it closer. Can't get it to focus, so I apologize if it is like really out of focus for you. But I loved the colors of this one and I wanted to stitch it, so I purchased this. And then I also purchased all of the fancy floss to stitch it. So this one calls for Snowball. Oh, guys, try to focus that. There we go. Snowball. Hickory Sticks. I like the name of that color. Hickory Sticks. Wagon Wheel. That reminds me of Isaiah from Little House on the Prairie. Mr. Edwards. Little Sprout, and if you don't or have never seen Little House on the Prairie because you're younger than me, I think it's streaming on Prime right now. Pumpkin Harvest. Sunkissed. Which you think would be yellow, but it's not. It's like tan. Cherry Tomato. Finley Gold, which is right here. Frozen Margarita, which is the color of that greenhouse. And Really Tealy, Really Tealy. So these are all of these are the colors for that sampler of the month. March sampler. So I am going to stitch this on a piece of 32 count lamb's wool Jobelin maybe, or just regular lamb's wool. Or I could stitch it on this 40 count Cafe au lait. It would be small then. I don't know if I want to do that. I could stitch it on this piece of 20. I have this right here. Maybe you guys could tell me what you think. All right, I have this 25 count vintage cloth by Lori Holt that I bought last year. It's in the color Parchment. It would be big because it was 25 count, but then at least you would be able to see all the colors. That's something to think about. But I also have this right here, which I pulled out to possibly stitch. I would probably work on this too. This is a piece of 25 or 32 count. This is 32 count Jobelan. This is 32 count Jobelan. Those of you that are younger than me have probably never folded a map before, but when you're folding a piece of fabric, cross-stitch fabric, imagine it being thicker paper that's much larger that you have to fold to get it back into your glove box. Just saying. All right, the other one that I bought, which I also bought all of the called for Weeks Dye Works for this one, is a pattern that I've seen lots of times. I've seen a bunch of these actually, and this is the second one because I want to do the fox one too, but the fox one is actually was out of stock. So I got this one. But this is Raccoon Rabble by Plum Street Samplers. This will be my first Plum Street. Look at those trash pandas. They're so cute. Oh my gosh. And I live in the 19-acre woods. We can call it the 19-acre woods. And so we see a lot of raccoon. Thankfully not close to the house, but in and around us. But I love that little baby one right on top. It is so dang cute. And with that, I got the Onyx Sweet Potato Flatfish and Terrapin. So Onyx, Flatfish, Terrapin, and Sweet Potato. So that is all of my haul. So let's talk about plans very quickly. This is a kind of a longer video, which means it's going to take forever to upload. All right, plans. So what am I planning to do? I am planning on finishing up my goal for Whip Go, which would be about another 8.5 or so hours, 8 hours on Fa La La by Madame Chantilly. I definitely want to get that goal done. I would like to finish Welcome Wee Folk from Cherry Hill Stitchery. I'm trying to finish Quaker Snowflakes by Hello from Liz Matthews. I have a couple of kitted up items that I might start. And then I'm thinking about starting to plan for May. So I think what I'm going to do for May is that I'm going to give myself a start for every finish. So my goal this year has really been to try to finish some of the work that I started in 2020 and 2021, just so that I don't have whips carry over for years and years. Like I really don't want to have like a whip that I'm carrying over for like 2 or 3 years. So I've been trying to focus on my 2020 whips and try to get those out so that I'm not still working on them in 2022. And can kind of continue through the year like that. Cozy Cardinals, I would like to try to at least work 5 hours on, 5 to 10 hours-ish. I would like to get the rest of the lighthouse done, like not the actual lighthouse itself, but the actual like brick part and roof part on, oh my god, why am I yawning? On my Silver Creek sampler. And then definitely Let's Talk Winter. I think I can kick that one out pretty quickly because it's mostly words, and I'm doing that on 14 count Ada, so it's going really fast. Ryan's birthday is coming up. I really should work on that Star Wars characters one. We all know how I love my son very, very much. but I hate that piece. I hate that project. But I should probably work on that. I need to clean in here and organize. It's gotten a little out of hand. I just have floss like everywhere. Like it's coming out of every orifice of this room. So I really need to take care of that. I'd like to do a stitch with me video. I haven't done one in a long time. So I would really like to do that. Maybe I'll film that later tonight when I'm working on that. I think that's it for today. I really do. Oh, my hopes and prayers go out to every single person and family affected by the war in Ukraine. I do follow it and have been watching it, and my heart breaks for the people of Ukraine and for everyone involved. There's nothing I can say other than my prayers go out to you. And other than that, I hope you have a good stitchy week. And I hope you have stitched something wonderful while you've been listening to me, or enjoyed a cup of coffee or whatever you were doing, dishes, cooking dinner. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. I am trying to build my subscribers up a little bit. I've come a really, really, really long way in a year. So thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone. Anybody who has shared me with somebody else or has shared me on their videos and I didn't know, please check out the people that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And I hope you all have a great stitchy week or more. Lately it's been about 2 or 3 weeks since I have been able to film in between, but I am going to try to film more often. And I hope you all have, like I said, a great time stitching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now.